why haven't you announced her? She said, who is the nice person for today? And I said, well, you're going to have to wait till about 7:35 this morning for me to tell you. Guess who the nice person today is, Mr. Kangas?
I have no idea.
Well, I'll tell you, it's Toivo Kangas.
Ah, you got to be kidding.
No, we got
to be kidding.
No, we got a letter here. I'm going to read you this letter. It says, Dear KRWC, I would really like it if you would give my father, Toivo Kangas, a free lunch at the lighthouse. He's the greatest father around. Hope you pick him because he sure deserves it. Sandra Kangas. Now, isn't that a nice letter?
Oh, my good guy.
Isn't that nice, huh?
That's tremendous. I'll have to give her a big hug.
And then she says here, I listen every day. So we couldn't miss that. So you're the nice guy of the day. Wow. And you get a free lunch at the lighthouse and Robert Chevrolet Oldsmobile in Pontiac. All you have to do is stop out there and pick up the certificate, and then you can go to lunch. Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice?
Really nice.
That'll leave you speechless for a moment.
That is. It's caught me.
That caught you by surprise.
Sure did. Well, oh, gee whiz. Oh, Fern Balliet, thanks for your vote of confidence on my program. Best wishes to Byron. Winnie Markuson of Rockford, she asked me if we ever got some nice weather to dedicate some nice weather to her. Well, they dedicate a whole bunch to you. He's a very nice person also. Well, let's see. I got a little story here. Tell me something, the woman asked her visitor. Have you ever sold brushes? No, never, he answered. Well, you'd better take this one and start selling it to me, she said. Here comes my husband. Well, temperature 33. Our overnight low was a 31. We got mostly cloudy skies over Buffalo. It's really windy out there this morning. It's got a pretty steady 16 to 20 miles per hour of the south-southeast. Barometric pressure 29.74 inches and falling. Humidity 85%. Precipitation last 24 hours, well, I guess we haven't gotten any. Yesterday's data, we had a high of 35, low of 30, precipitation 0. A year ago, we had a high of 33, a low of 24. We had 0.08 of an inch of melted precipitation, 0.9 of an inch of snow. Our all-time high is a 49 in 1954, the all-time low of minus 20 in 1936. To you snowmobile enthusiasts and skiers, you have 10 hours and 32 minutes to look for snow. Temperature again, 33 above. That's it. Have a good day.
Your question of the day, Toivo Kangas.
We're on a biennial election system, which means that the councilmen's terms will be 4 years instead of 3. Last year, Toivo Kangas was elected to a 4-year term, being the first councilman to have a 4-year term. This year, there will be 3 councilmen whose terms expire and will be up for re-election: Carl Bowman, Jim Nelson, and Gerard Melgard. Mayor Stubsted's term also expires this year, and he will be up for election to another 2-year term.
Oh, real good, Don, real good.
Well, I'm certainly glad to hear that. Did you hear about the guy up around St. Cloud that owned the quarry up there? A lot of quarries up there, you know.
Yes, I didn't hear that.
Well, he was arrested for overcharging.
Overcharging?
Yeah, he was taking too much for granite. Isn't that bad? Isn't that bad?
You're kind of cute for this early in the morning.
Well, I keep trying, you know. I keep digging in the files. And
just keep trying, Bob.
Keep trying.
Bob. I got Bob on my mind this morning, Don.
Okay, Bob. Okay, Ralph.
I had the pleasure of meeting Robert Egan of Robert Chevrolet yesterday. And a very fine gentleman, I might add. Welcome to the Buffalo and Wright County area. Lots of success in your business, Bob. Just a short story today. I have a lot of statistics for you this morning. Can you picture 2 small boys staring at an abstract painting in a modern art exhibit? One whispered to the other, "Let's get out of here before they think we did it." Well, even though February 1976 isn't over with, let's do some comparing with February 1975. Well, February 75, we had 9 mornings that were below 0. February 76, we've had 5 so far. February 75, our highest temperature was at 37 degrees. February 76, our highest was at 46 so far. February 75, our coldest temperature was a minus 22. And February 76, our coldest temperature has been a minus 16, and that was on February 4th. Snowfall for February 75, well, we had 6.4 inches, 6 4/10 inches. February 76, snowfall, not counting this morning's, of course, is 2.4 inches, 2 4/10 inches. Precip melted for February 1975 amounted to 57 hundredths of an inch. February 76, precip melted 78 hundredths of an inch. At 54 hundredths of an inch of rain we had Saturday night, counted for that. February 75, we had 8 days that exceeded 30 degrees. In February 76, we've had 10 days that have exceeded 30 degrees, and we still have 10 more days to go. That's enough of that stuff. Our present temperature is 28 degrees. Our overnight low was at 26. We have cloudy skies with very light snow. The air is calm. Barometric pressure 29.76 inches and rising. Humidity 85%. Precipitation last 24 hours, we've had 3/10 of an inch up till 7:30 this morning overnight. Precip for February melted 78 hundredths of an inch. Snow 2 4/10 inches. That's not including this morning's snow. Excuse me. Precip for year melted 1.89 hundredths of an inch. 1.89 hundredths of an inch. Snowfall for this season, not including this morning, 30 6/10 inches. Yesterday's data, we had a high of 33, a low of 31, precipitation 0. A year ago, we had a high of 25, a low of minus 4, precipitation 0. All-time high of 55 in 1954, all-time low of minus 20 in 1941. The only statistic about February 19th, 1976 and February 19th, 1975 that compares is the day's length, and that's 10 hours and 38 minutes. Temperature again, 28. That's it. Have a good day.
There he is. Buffalo's answer to Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Do you ever do any boxing?
No.
You never did?
Very little bit.
Well, you look like you could have been a pugilist. Is that what they call it? You got a nice, sturdy build there, strong right arm.
You're full of a...
Don't, you can't say that on the air. Can't say that on the air.
Hey, Don, what would you call a full glass of milk in Germany?
A full glass of milk in Germany. I should know that, but I don't.
A Holstein.
A Holstein.
Oh, that wasn't too bad.
Oh, no.
Well, this early in the morning, you can't expect too much. Well, let's see. A little girl was being tested to see if she would follow her mother's instructions to take the smaller piece of anything offered to her. I have a gift for you, her uncle said, placing a quarter and a dollar bill on the table. Take your choice. I'll take this, she said, picking up the coin. The uncle smiled, then frowned as she added, but I'd better wrap it in this piece of green paper so I won't lose it. Well, that's enough. Friday morning, temperature 29. We had an overnight low of 26. Sky cover cloudy, as usual. Sure be nice to see the sun once again. Oh, the winds, well, there isn't any. It's calm. Barometric pressure at 30.00 inches and rising. Humidity 85%. Precipitation last 24 hours, well, we had a trace of snow. Yesterday's data, well, we had a high of 35, a low of 26. Precipitation 2/100ths of an inch melted. We had 3/10 of an inch of snow. A year ago, we had a high of 32, a low of 6. Precipitation 0. All-time high 54 in 1930. Excuse me. All-time low of minus 18 in 1918. If you woke, let's see, I goofed that one up. If you worked from sunrise to sunset, then today you will have put in a 10-hour and 41-minute day. Oh, yeah. Temperature again, 29, that's it. Have a good weekend, and I should take off the rest of the week, too, for goofing this thing up.
Not really. Don't be so critical of yourself, Toivo. You're doing great. Our time is...
Good morning, boy. Do you sound chipper?
Well, I like that sunshine. The old sun is shining this morning, nice and bright out there. That makes you feel good,
Yes.
Yeah.
No, the wind chill is down to -4 right now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
It didn't seem that cool this morning when I got up.
Gusts the wind up to 20 miles per hour, and we've got a temperature of 25. And if you look down your wind chill index sheet, it comes down to -4.
See, I can't read that good. I have a terrible sight. You ever heard of the Beta Shoe Company?
Beta Shoe Company?
Beta Shoe Company? They are real innovators. They have just marketed or patented, rather, a pair of shoes, and each shoe has 4 pockets. and they're for nudists.
For nudists?
For nudists. So they got shoes with pockets now. That's just in case if you want to sunbathe with your shoes on. Only in America,
you know,
right?
we could have fun with that one.
Well, it's in your court.
Oh, boy. Yeah, let's see. I want to first say congratulations to Mrs. Fred Esterly. She indeed is a very nice person. I know her and her husband, Fred, and a swell couple. I've got a story here. First of all, my brother, Toivo, and his wife, Marilyn, and family came down from Mountain Iron yesterday. They spent the day with us. We had a very nice Sunday, and my sister-in-law left me with this joke. And I think it's cute. I'm going to read it. And if you don't like it, you turn the radio off quick. An 85-year-old lady went to the doctor for a checkup. The doctor, after examining her, told her, "You're pregnant." She says, "No way. It couldn't be." The doctor replied, "Don't tell me you're not. I've been a doctor for 25 years, and I know a pregnant lady when I see one." The lady says, "I've got to call my 90-year-old husband." She called her husband and said, "You old son of a gun, you got me pregnant." After a pause, the husband said, "Who is this?" Well, after that one, we better go right to the weather. Temperature, well, like I said, we've got 25. Our overnight low was an 18. Sky cover, mostly clear. We have southerly winds at 12 miles per hour, gusts to 20. Like I said, using the top wind speed of 20 and a temperature of 25 gives us a wind chill of a -4. Barometric pressure 29.90 inches and falling. Humidity 78%. Yesterday's data, well, we had a high of 29, a low of 17, precipitation 0. A year ago, we had a high of 26, a low of 11, precipitation 0. Our all-time high was a 59 in 1958, our all-time low of -18 in 1910. Just think, we have 10 hours and 50 minutes of daylight today. Temperature again 25, that's it. Have a good day.
This morning there, Mr. Kangas.
Good morning, Mr. Wohlenhaus.
How are you today, sir?
Very good, sir.
Are you wearing your white tie and tails this morning?
No, sir.
You're not?
No, sir.
I thought Tuesdays were formal day at the Kangas Radiator Shop. Somebody told me that yesterday.
No, if I know you were going to stop in, I'd wear my tie.
Do you really have a tie? Be honest now.
No.
Oh, I didn't think so.
No.
No, ties are too full.
No, every time I bend over, would look for a leak, I would get my end of my tie wet.
Do you know what a pessimist is?
Pessimist?
A pessimist.
Well, there must be another explanation for it. No, what is it?
He's a man who thinks that all women are bad. An optimist hopes they are.
I like that one.
Oh, you're going to get the gals are going to be on us now, Toivo. They don't like those kind of jokes.
They don't, huh?
No.
Oh, here comes Katie with the frying pan. She didn't like it. Yeah, let's see what we got here. When the husband arrived home a little earlier than usual, he found his wife in the arms of his best friend. "I love your wife," explained the friend, "and she loves me. I'll play you a game of cards for her. If I win, you divorce her, and if I win, you divorce her, and if you win, I promise never to see her again. Will you play the game with me?" "Sure," the husband agreed. "But how about a penny a point on the side to make it interesting?" Well, I don't know what's the problem here. I got to quit reading jokes and just tell whether I goop up those jokes. Well, let's see. We've got 29 degrees. Here in Buffalo this morning, our low overnight was a 28. Got mostly clear skies. The winds are from the south-southeast at 6 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 29.81 inches and falling. Humidity 89%. Now, if you got the old buggy sitting out there and you're going to run out of the house and jump in it and drive off, you better take a look because it's covered with frost. Lots of frost. Precipitation last 24 hours, 0. Yesterday's data, well, we had a high of 49, a low of 18, precipitation 0. A year ago, we had a high of 32, a low of 14, precipitation 0. Precipitation for February melted is at 0.80 inches, 80 hundredths of an inch. February snow amounts to 2 7/10 inches. Precipitation for 1976 for, 1.91 hundredths inches melted. Snowfall for this season here in Buffalo, 30.9 inches, just about 31 inches. Our all-time high is a 57 in 1931, our all-time low a minus 20 in 1967. Temperature again, 29. That's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo. Hard time.
We got a pretty good crew.
Oh, we're on the air? I didn't even know we're on air. I thought we were just visiting here.
Well, we're on the air now. I just turned up the knob here, this little red deal, and now we are now on the air. And we had some kids out here at the station, yes, some bluebirds. You know what bluebirds are?
Boy Scouts?
Yeah, Girl Scouts, little bluebirds.
Oh.
And I asked one of them, I said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she looked at me and she said, alive.
Well, that's a very smart answer.
I thought she was going to say radio announcer or something like that. Alive. Well, what are you going to say about this weather, huh?
Oh, well, not much. It's fantastic. Fantastic. I still think we're going to pay for it, possibly in March or April. We ain't going to get by that fortunate. Remember last year it was below zero, I believe, yet on the last day of March. I've got a good definition of a husband here. I haven't run across this. A husband is a person who is under the impression he bosses a house, when in reality he only houses the boss. Yeah, I got one more little one here. Dad was half snoozing on the couch the other day when he overheard his daughter say to her mother, "The Lord gives us our daily bread, doesn't he?" "That's right," her mother answered. "And Santa Claus brings us our presents." "Yes." "And the stork brings the babies." "Yes." "Well then," the child asked, "what's Papa hanging around here for?" Well, let's see. At a present temperature is 30 degrees. That's our overnight low. Sky partly cloudy. The wind, well, there is none. The air is calm. Barometric pressure is at 29.88 inches and rising. Humidity 92%. Precipitation last 24 hours at 0. Yesterday's data, well, we had a beautiful high of 53. Our low 28. Precipitation 0, of course. A year ago we had a high of 34, a low of 19, precipitation 0. Our all-time high is the 56 in 1958. Our all-time, all-time low of minus 23 in 1967. Temperature again 30 degrees. That's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo. Don't get a sunburn out there.
This morning at 23 minutes before 8 o'clock. And your name again was?
Well, let's see. What was it? You remember, Don? I forgot.
Listen, have you guys had the flu yet at your house?
Yeah. So
Oh, have you?
I was a little sick. My daughter, and I didn't feel good there 1 week, but they had it bad. I just had the mild
version.
Finlanders are pretty tough.
I was reading about English cures for common maladies. And an old English cure for the flu was they'd put a live eel in the patient's beer. And that supposedly did it, you know.
A live eel?
Yeah.
Holy frick.
You believe that? Those English are kind of weird, though, you know.
No, I wouldn't believe that.
Well, that's what it says right here in my books of trivia and non-relevant facts.
Yeah, I suppose it ain't much worse. Did you see the other week here they're eating goldfish? No.
Oh.
Goldfish eating contest?
Is that right?
How would you like to eat? Well, I think the champion had 53 of them.
Oh. Can you imagine his stomach would be moving for a month, you know?
That must be a horrible feeling. Oh, boy. Not saying that our cars are getting smaller. Here's an ad out of a paper. For sale, sports car, $2,000. Carrying case extra. Thank you, Carol Farley, for your very kind words about KRWC and its programming and your letter to the editor. That was real nice of you. Sure has been an unusual February. Hank Weichel seen a gopher along the highway this week. Yesterday I saw it was either a wasp or a hornet by my shop. Lyman Olson, we know him as Ole, tells me that one of his trees is budding out. Someone reported seeing a skunk. I'm sure they meant a four-legged one. Joe Strube has mentioned that we might have a dry year. Well, I hope he is as wrong on that prediction as he was with that February 18th snowstorm. However, the drought isn't too far from us. I hear it's so dry in Nebraska that someone's seen two trees fighting over a dog. Well, we've got a temperature of 32 this morning. Our overnight low did drop to 28. We have mostly clear skies. Well, they ain't exactly all clear, but
Mostly clear, I would say. We have southerly winds between 4 and 8 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 29.96 inches and falling slowly. Humidity 82%. Yesterday's precipitation, well, we had 0. Yesterday's data, we had a beautiful high of 55 here in Buffalo, a low of 30, precipitation, of course, 0. A year ago, we had a high of 27, a low of 13, precipitation trace. Our all-time highs of 64 in 1896, our all-time low of minus 21 in 1897. Temperature again, 32, and that's it. Have a good day.
Back in.
Good morning.
There he is again.
Yes, and there you are, too.
Yes, sir. Well, I stopped by yesterday to visit you, and I must admire your workmanship. How long have you been fixing those radiators?
Oh, I guess I got about 23 years, something like that.
Would you qualify as an experienced radiator man?
Well, I don't know. I still got, I hope, a long time to go yet to learn some more.
Well, it was very interesting. You know, that's quite an art. You know, I've had more trouble with my radiators in my cars. And you don't realize how, you know, that's very important to keep those doggone things clean and keep them in shape, right?
Yeah, it's more important than people realize. I take that little thing for granted.
Yeah. Let me ask you something. We've got a nice person today, and her name is spelled B-L-I-Z-I-L.
Well, I would pronounce it Helen Blizzle.
Blizzle. Okay. Well, we took a vote, and that's what we came up with. She's a nice person today, anyway.
Is she from Buffalo?
Yeah, she's from Buffalo.
I'm sure I know her.
Well, I kind of thought you might. You know everybody.
I'm sure I used to have my radiator shop years ago right next to their business.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I'm sure that it's the one that had a furniture store here years ago.
Is that right? Oh, yeah. Very good. Well, what have you got for us in the way of
Well, let's see. Nellie Elliott, a very sweet lady, Porky's mother, by the way, called me, said she saw 2 robins Wednesday, close to Park Lane Apartments where she resides. Thank you, Nellie, for the report and your kind comments. Oh, yeah. This fellow Luke Merkel, it's a fictitious name I made up. This fellow Luke Merkel was recently honored and commended by the local civic club for putting this town on the map at a dinner the other night. Luke was recently named the father of our county because he is the father of 18 children. Asked to say a few words, Luke excused himself, saying, "I really don't have anything to say as I'm tired. You know, I'm usually in bed every night by this time." Well, let's see here. I got one little short one here. How about this for an unclassified ad? For sale, barbed wire dresses to protect the property without obstructing the view. Well, we've got 30 degrees over Buffalo this morning for temperature-wise, clear skies, wind of the northeast at 6 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 29.87 inches and steady. 70% humidity. Precipitation last 24 hours, 0. Yesterday's data, well, we had another beautiful high of 53, a low of 28, and of course 0 precipitation. A year ago we had a high of 37, a low of 8, precipitation 0. I got a little note here. If you notice, Minneapolis only had a high of 28 and a low of 12 a year ago, but they had overcast skies while we had sunshine over Buffalo, accounting for being warmer here. Our all-time high was a 54 in 1896 and our all-time low of minus 14 in 1897. Would you believe we hit the 11-hour mark on our day's length? It's 11 hours and 3 minutes long. I'm glad February 29th falls on a Sunday. What would I give for my data for 1 year ago? Just think about that a little bit. Temperature again 30. That's it. Have a good day.
That's a good point. Thank you, Toivo. Join us every morning at 7:35 with Toivo Kangas in the weather. Not another radio station in the world has a Finnish Weather Man. I've checked on that. 32 sunshiny degrees here at the radio station.
You are?
Yep.
Are you sure?
You bet.
You're ready? I thought you were Toivo.
Oh.
That's an old joke. That's an old one.
That's an old one.
That's a bad one.
Yeah.
I was reading again this weekend.
Well, yeah?
I found some interesting facts for you. Do you eat eggs for breakfast?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I kind of like them.
Did you know?
Fattening, but...
little fattening?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well,
The chicken farmers are going to be after you. The egg people are going to come and get you.
I eat nothing anyway. There's no fat in it.
Well, the egg of the North African ostrich is 6 to 7 inches long, and it takes 40 minutes to boil.
Holy shit.
How about that? Now, isn't that interesting?
Yeah, that'd be quite an egg for breakfast.
So what is this stuff outside we're looking at? What is it?
That's snow.
Is that right?
I kept telling you in February that winter isn't over with you.
I know you did, but of course I didn't believe you, you know.
You didn't believe
I'm an optimist.
Or wouldn't you rather have March come in like a lion and go out like a lamb rather than have it come in like a lamb and go out like a lion?
That's a good point.
Okay. Welcome to Bruce Solberg, KRWC's new sales manager to Buffalo and Wright County. Bruce hails from Princeton, Minnesota. I had my spies dig that one up this weekend. Yeah, let's see now, what do we got here? This being the 1st of March, and March being Agricultural Appreciation Month here on KRWC in Buffalo, let's start out with a little short farm story. A little girl visited a farm for the first time, stopped to look at a huge sow lying in a pig pen. Later she remarked about it to the farmer. "Big, isn't she?" he said. The girl thought for a moment, then said, excuse me, she then said, "She ought to be. A few minutes ago there were 6 little ones blowing her up." Well, let's see what else we got here. We got quite a bit of... Now, these facts I'm about to relate to you are based on data... excuse me, I got a frog in my throat down here someplace. Recorded at the National Weather Service station, Twin Cities. Not a forecast, but based on 154 years of records, March has followed the following pattern more often than not in those 154 years. The great transition from the cold season type weather to the warm season type weather commences around March 15th. The average daily temperature rises about 4 degrees from the 1st to the 15th, but then rises 11 degrees to the 31st. After mid-March, storminess with heavy snows occur rather often, during or around the time of the state basketball tournament. Especially stormy is the period around March 21st to April 3rd. Prior to mid-March, the temperature has never reached 70 in the past 154 years. Temperatures below -10 are not to be expected after the vernal equinox. By the way, the first day of spring this year is March 20th. Oh, let's see, I got a little more here. Our day's length starts out March 1st at 11 hours and 8 minutes. On March 31st, it's at 12 hours and 43 minutes. So during the month of March, we will add 1 hour and 35 more minutes of daylight. Just thought you'd like to know that. Yeah, well, we got about 0.05 of an inch melted precip overnight, and we've got over an inch already on the ground. Nice white fluffy stuff. We have a current temperature of 16 degrees. That's our overnight low, by the way. And our sky cover is snow. Wind is from the northeast, 13 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 30.05 inches and falling. Humidity 81%. Yesterday's data, well, we had a high of 19, a low of 6. We had 0 precipitation. A year ago, we had a high of 17, a low of -1, precipitation 0. Our all-time highs of 56 in 1934, all-time low of -32 in 1962. You can see it can get cold yet in March, -32 in 1962. Temperature again, 16, that's it. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Toivo. Our time is 20 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock in the morning.
Weather Man.
Yeah.
What a way to go, let me tell you.
What a way to go.
I stopped by to see Johnny Poyer yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
Stop and see me.
Well, I knew you were going to say that, but I was only going to stop for a minute, and he bought me a bottle of lemon soda, which, you know, was kind of nice. But he was trying to get some of those ostrich eggs I talked about yesterday.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, he said his son Danny could certainly use an egg like that. But I was reading again there, you know, there are enough bees in America for every citizen to have a hive containing 500,000 bees. Now you tell me that, isn't that interesting?
Well, it's interesting if you don't get attacked by them. Boy, that's something I'm afraid of bees.
Are you really?
Oh, wasps and bumblebees and...
I don't like wasps. Those things are for the
hornets.
All those bad things. Well, listen, what is that stuff out there that I was shoveling this morning? What was that?
Well, that's 5 inches of let's see, what would you call that? Frozen moisture.
Frozen moisture? 5 inches, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, my goodness.
5,200 melt in 5 inches. Well, let's see what we got here this morning. Oh, we had a big, long council meeting last night, and I'd like to stay in my feather bed a little longer, I'll tell you. Getting up, I could have slept till 8 o'clock, but I got this contract with KRWC to make a fool out of myself every morning, so here I am. I got a note here to my fine feathered friends. Anyway, out there, please feed the birds.
Gee whiz, just think, there's some robins back, and they're confused. They came here a little week ago and thought spring was here, and now all of a sudden the ground is white, and those poor little, pretty little birds are looking for food, so give them a helping hand, won't you please? Bill Fairbanks was telling me yesterday that a bunch from Buffalo flew out to Las Vegas last week, and when they left Las Vegas, the temperature was 72 degrees, and when they got to the Twin Cities, it was 19 degrees. They wanted to go back, but like Bill says, we each left with $3,600, and each came back with only $36. Guess that's why they didn't go back. That's a good explanation. Oh, I got one more here. This fellow went out on the town one evening and didn't get home until the next day. Well, his wife really...
Here.
My gosh.
Always, I'm right on. As soon as that ends, I'm right there. This quick as a flash.
Yeah, well, I was wondering.
Oh, I was looking out the window there, really.
I was just looking at the clock here, and it's creeping up to 22.
I'm sorry.
It'll be an early morning breeze this time, and he won't be happy.
I've been reading again.
Yeah, have you?
Yes. Do these facts really interest you? I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to impose on you now.
Well, let me. I've been reading too here. Let me.
Oh, you want to give me one first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask you, why does a woman always stand in front of a mirror while dressing?
Why does she stand in front of a mirror? I don't know.
She wants to see what's going on. Everybody's bad as yours, ain't they?
No, I'm not gonna give you mine now. There's no way I can compete with that.
Save that for tomorrow morning.
Okay.
Save that for tomorrow morning. Yesterday was Joe Doherty's birthday. I didn't know anything about it, and I saw Joe out there shoveling snow with a brand new snow shovel. Joe, you got a new shovel? Yes, Joe said proudly. That's my birthday present from Johnny Poyer. I'll tell you that, John can sure get work out of his men, and they're happy, too. Just kidding, guys. Happy birthday yesterday, Joe. That's right, John Poyer had a birthday about a week ago. Nobody tells me nothing about it till it's over with. Let's see, one more here. This janitor at a large factory read about all these airplane crashes, and in most cases it was wing failure. He got to thinking about it and came up with the idea of a perforated wing. He built one and had it patented. It went over big, and needless to say, he became a millionaire. This, of course, was big news, so Mike Holm from KRWC News went out to interview him. How did you ever come up with such an idea of a perforated wing? Well, janitor said, did you ever try and tear a piece of toilet paper at the perforated line? Well, we've got a temperature of 20 degrees this morning. Sky cover is cloudy. Winds, we got northwesterly at 9 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 29.98 and steady. Humidity 81%. We just had a trace of precipitation in the last 24 hours, and as mostly as freezing drizzle. Yesterday, well, we had a high of 23, a low of 18, trace of freezing drizzle. A year ago, we had a high of 22, a low of -4, precipitation 0. Our all-time high is 65 in 1905, and our all-time low of -7 in 1893. Temperature again, 20, that's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo. 20.5 minutes now before the hour of 8 o'clock.
Am I going to go to the bullhead first?
Who caught the bullheads?
Well, I'll tell you, Don, if this blizzard comes in and interferes with Butch's bullhead fry, I better leave the country.
Is that right?
He already gave me fair warning. He said, if you ruin my bullhead fry with that blizzard, that's it. Now he's cleaning bullheads this afternoon. What are you doing, Don?
Well, I don't know.
Some help.
Yeah, gosh, I used to do that. I don't know how you guys do. We used to do it with pliers, chop off the head and then take up pliers and skin them and
well,
look
he's
them
got
up.
a professional. He helps him, Jim Cass. He's a commercial fisherman, and
Yeah.
they're going to clean him this afternoon.
Is that right? Well, we're going to go tomorrow night, or Saturday night. We're going to go to Buffalo Fry.
I'm sure Butch is looking forward to it.
I haven't had bullheads. We used to dip them in beer batter. Oh, they were good. I'm looking forward to that.
Our mayor, Howard Stubstead, is the chief cook, too,
Oh, he is?
Oh, sure.
Oh, I didn't. Well, I'll look forward to tasting Howard's bullhead.
And then he's got some Frida's good potato salad. He's got a good menu of French bread and milk or coffee. And
oh, my goodness. Well, that's Saturday night from 5 till 9, right?
quarter to 9, I think, something like that.
Fantastic.
Fantastic is right.
Well, what do we got going with the weather today? Did you hear all those predictions?
Yeah, it kind of scares me. But I'm sure it'll be over by Friday night, and so Saturday, if the road's all clear, and then everybody can come to the bullhead fry. Hey, got a little short story here. One of the crop inspectors for the government stopped by Ralph Aldridge's farm last summer and wanted to know if Ralph had any trouble with insects getting into his corn. I sure do, said Ralph, but I just fish them out and drink it anyway. Sorry about that, Ralph. Ralph is one of these nice gentleman farmers. I always enjoy visiting with Ralph whenever he stops on the shop. Well, that's enough. We've got a current temperature of 7 degrees. Our overnight low dipped to a 0. Quite a while since it's been 0. Sky cover, well, there are clouds. I misplaced my wind chill chart, but I'm sure the wind chill is a factor this morning. They're from the northeast at 9 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is at 30.06 inches and falling. And with a northeast wind and falling barometer, that always is a good rule, a sign that points to snow on the way. Humidity 59%. Precipitation last 24 hours, 0. Yesterday's data where we had a high of 23, a low of 18, precipitation 0. A year ago we had a high of 29, a low of -5, precipitation 0. Snowfall for this season is at 35 9/10 inches as of this morning. So let's hope we don't add any more to it. But I'm sure we will. All-time high is a 59 in 1894. All-time low of -15 in 1917. Temperature again 7. That's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo, and we'll see you at the big fish fry Saturday night.
Oh, buddy, Toivo and I were just chatting here while waiting for the First State Federal commercial to end. And you say you have wet feet this morning?
Yeah, like you have.
Oh, I had so much snow in my shoes outside. I was 3 inches taller this morning. By the time I got to the station, walking through those snowbanks. But, well, look at that sun this morning. How do you explain that, huh?
Well,
isn't that nice?
I say they can revise that forecast. About 80% chance of snow till noon.
Yeah, I think they can scratch. I think we'll scratch that.
Clear skies over Buffalo. We got less snow than Minneapolis. We got 5 6/10 here in Buffalo, 5,200 melted. But evidently the storm track went more to the east and south. And the west, of course, they picked up more snow and higher winds. But we did have wind gusts last night to 29, 30 miles an hour, and blew in a lot of snow in the town and the gullies and sheltered areas that come out of the open areas. Well, let's see here. The chief bullhead, Butch Gilbertson, and his crew got their bullheads cleaned yesterday. Butch estimates around 500 pounds of beautiful bullheads. There's such a thing as a beautiful bullhead. I know Butch is not beautiful. Yeah, let's see what I got here this morning. Ralph Aldridge stopped out the shop yesterday after I pulled that corny joke on him, and brings in a cob of corn and says, "Drink that, will ya?" No, Ralph enjoyed the joke, and he brought me out a joke. Here goes. The farmer was convicted of a bank robbery. His wife wrote him a letter in the spring about putting in an oat crop. But digging the field up looked like very hard work to her. He wrote back, "Don't dig up the south field, as that's where I buried the money." A couple weeks later, he received a letter from his wife saying that the sheriff and his deputies had dug up the whole south field. "What should I do now?" He replied, "Plant the oats." Now, if you're slow like me, you're going to have to think about that to catch the punchline. Well, let's get right on with our weather here. We got a current temperature of 9 degrees under mostly clear skies. We have northwesterly winds. The old needle on the wind speed indicator is hovering between 12 and 20 miles per hour. Barometric pressure is at 29.93 inches and rising. 77% humidity. We had 5.6 inches of snow, 5 6/10 inches of snow, 5,200 melted. Our average temperature for February of this year was 27.7. This is National Weather Service Twin Cities. The normal for February at National Weather Service Twin Cities is 16.5. 27.7 for last February and 16.5. So that's about 11 degrees above normal. Yesterday's data, we had a high of 16, a low of 0. Well, precipitation is what you see out there in your front yard. A year ago we had a high of 35, low of 25 precipitation trace. Our all-time highs of 56 in 1937, our all-time low of minus 14 in 1960. Temperature again, 9 degrees. That's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo.
Did you get the kitchen cleaned up?
Kitchen cleaned up? No, that's Butch's girl's job.
Oh, is that right? You don't have to clean the kitchen.
No, not me personally. I take care of that during the smell fry. I'm the chairman of the smell fry, and that's coming up in April, so I get plenty of worries then.
So you and Howard, all you and Howard did was mess it up, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else has to clean it.
Yeah, you can set a mouthful there.
Well, I must say those are very tasty bullheads. I haven't had bullheads in a year. I think I ate about 2 dozen of those.
Well, it's good. We had quite a bit left.
Did you?
We didn't get the crowd we really expected. But
well, that's too bad. They don't know what they missed, by golly.
I talked to Butch yesterday. He said he made a little money, but he hasn't got all the final figures. But
well, it was a good feed anyway.
Right. I think everybody liked it, and we're there and enjoyed it. It was nice to see you and Nell there. Well, let's see what we got here this morning. I hear have a faithful listener, Don Shanker. Good morning, Don. There's Don Dirks from Maple Lake area listens also. Good morning to both of you and to everybody else. Well, I've got a short little story here, a cute one I might add. This from Eileen Aldrich. A missionary meeting a lion face to face in the jungle fell to his knees and prayed. To his amazement, so did the lion. How miraculous, cried the missionary. A moment ago I had given up myself for lost. Quiet, growled the lion. I'm saying grace. Well, let's go on with the weather here. We got mostly cloudy skies over Buffalo this morning. We have a current temperature of 10 degrees. Our overnight low was 5 degrees. We got a very light breeze from the southeast. Barometric pressure at 30.04 and steady. Humidity 70%. Yesterday's data, well, we had a high of 25, a low of 11. Precipitation, 0.02 of an inch melted and a half inch of snow. A year ago, we had a high of 19, a low of 0, precipitation 0. Snowfall for season, 42 inches. Snowfall for March now is at 11 1/10 inches. Our all-time highs of 61 in 1898, our all-time low of -7 in 1967. Temperature, 10 degrees, and that's it. Have a good day. 20 flakes for the acre.
20 flakes for the acre. How did you come up with that particular measurement?
You got to count very fast.
I knew your Finlanders were sharp, but not that sharp.
Yeah.
How are you today?
Oh, pretty good.
Well, you sound pretty good.
How are you?
Let me ask you something. I saw you yesterday, and you have a load of snow in the back of your truck. That got my curiosity up. Are you saving it for something? Or?
Yeah, I'm trying to save it for next July when I'm talking about July when it gets real hot, about 100 degrees, and you just go in there and dig a tunnel and get right in there. But you think it's going to last? I don't think so. Oh, what do we got this morning? Yeah, very much. I got a little story here for you. 2 hospital patients, after several days of idleness, became bored. Utilizing a stack of diagnosis cards, they improvised a deck of playing cards and started a game of draw poker. At the end of the first hand, one of them said, "Full house, 3 appendectomies and 2 tonsil cases. I guess I win." "Not so fast," replied his companion. "I've got 4 enemas." "Okay, you take the pot." Well, we got cloudy skies, very light snow this morning. Temperature 26. Overnight low is 24. Winds are from the southeast, 3 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 29.85 inches and steady. Humidity 82%. Yesterday's data, well, we had a high of 33, a low of 5. We had a trace of precipitation. A year ago, we had a high of 28, a low of 0, 0.01 of an inch of precipitation. Our all-time highs of 16, 1911. Our all-time low of -10 in 1951. Temperature again, 26. That's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo. That was very good. Now, I'll have to remember that one. I like that one.
As far as the number of people served, when we moved here about a year ago, either today or tomorrow, I forget which, we moved in with 10 people full-time. Presently we have 24 full-time, 2 of which do not come full days but are considered regular employees. Plus, we have added, starting this fall, we added 2 of the trainable mentally retarded classes, secondary level, of the Buffalo and Rockford schools. And this is a new concept, really, to functional industries and to the community, in that the teacher and aide come with the students to our facility and operate under our work rules and work that we provide for them, and spend 1 to 2 hours or so a day in actual work conditions, of which is set up as realistically as possible, and also which they are paid for.
Our time right now is 20 before 8, and on the line we have Professor Toivo Kangas.
Professor now, huh?
Professor of Weatherology. Someone was told me you had a degree in that.
Degree?
Yes. Experience from the School of Black and Blue Hard Knocks.
Now, there you go. There you go. I'd go along with that.
Somebody asked me yesterday, do you have a instrument to measure the wind velocity?
Yeah. You see that little thing spinning on top of my house?
Okay. Does that register the highest velocity? In other words, if it gets up to 40 miles?
Well, I haven't got the one that is locked.
Oh, okay. They were wondering if you had a deal where
I just got to stand there and watch it.
I see. Is it interesting to stand there and watch it?
Well, if you hear the cost between the one I got and the one that locks the highest gust, it's more interesting to stand there and watch it and pay the difference.
Very good point.
Did that come out all right?
That was excellent.
Well, let's see. Roland Shepard, formerly from Annandale, now lives in Minneapolis, has sold me my radiator cleaner for many, many years. Stopped in yesterday and hadn't seen him for quite some time. Found out he had had a heart attack last November. Happy to say he's back to work now and he looks good. And Sarah Hoffman, if you're listening, make a note of this, but Roland said I should mention that his graduation class of 1936, Annandale, is planning on having a class reunion, probably in June. And for more information, contact Les Magnuson of Annandale. Yeah, let's see what else I got here. One of our local girls just lost her job at a local dress shop. Let's call her Prunella. Seems Prunella was waiting on a rather stout customer the other day, and the customer tried on 24 dresses and still wasn't satisfied. Finally, she said to Prunella that she thought she would like to try something more flowing. So Prunella asked her if she had tried the Cruel River. Weather, clear skies over Buffalo. We have a current temperature of 9, northwesterly winds at 8 miles per hour, barometric pressure 29.97 and rising, 77% humidity. Yesterday, we had a high of 37, a low of 24. We had a trace of precipitation. A year ago, we had a high of 25, a low of 11. Precipitation, 0.02 of an inch melted, 0.9 of an inch snow. Our all-time highs of 55 in 1966, our all-time low of minus 17 in 1948. Temperature again 9 degrees. That's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo. Can't complain about the weather this morning with that sun shining this morning. Beautiful out there.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Don.
How are you doing today?
Oh, not so bad.
I saw a lone fisherman yesterday on a Buffalo Lake sitting on looked like a little, one of those old barrels, just sitting there fishing.
That must have been Dale Erickson.
Is that right?
I think he lives on it.
Is that right? Yeah. He was out there all by, it was like one of those pictures, someone painted and the guy sitting out there all by himself on that big white lake, just a fishing up a storm.
Yeah, probably like Dale. He loves to fish.
Well, I don't know about today, huh? Looks pretty nice out there, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, when I got up, the sky was nice and blue to the east, and the sun came out, but like I told Dave here on the phone, I think we don't see the sun for a while now.
Well, let's hope it gets better.
The clouds are moving in. Overnight low did dip to 8 above, and that's when it was clear. Now the sky is clouded over, and it's up to 21 degrees now, so she's warming up, and I imagine the snow is on the way. Well, I have a special request from Jervin, who is at Brainerd attending a meeting, to wish his wife Esther a happy birthday. Happy birthday, Esther, and that goes double from the Kangases. Well, I've got one little story here this morning. The Willie Weaver family finally hit the jackpot with a baby boy after 8
successive girls. Willie went on a week-long toot that ended yesterday. When we asked him this morning who the baby looked like, he replied, "I don't rightly know. You see, me and the missus haven't looked at his face yet." Well, I said we got mostly cloudy skies. A little blue to the east, well, we can scratch that. Temperature 21, our overnight low of 8. We have southeasterly winds at 12 miles per hour with gusts to 20 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 29.96 inches and falling. Humidity 77%. Yesterday's data, well, we had a high of 31, a low of 9. We had a trace of precipitation, and that occurred after midnight, night before, past midnight. So that makes sense. A year ago, well, we had a high of 31, a low of 11. Precipitation 32 hundredths of an inch. Melted 3 3/10 inches of snow. Our all-time high was 61 in 1902. Our all-time low of minus 27 in 1948. That must have been a cold day. 27 below, 1948. Temperature again, 21. That's it. Have a good day.
You too, Toivo.
The basketball tournament was on. Is that on today?
No, I don't think so.
Then why are we having this storm?
Well, I just told Dave, I said, this isn't the one. We just still have another one.
Oh, we're going to have another one.
Oh, I suppose.
Do we really need another one?
No, not really.
Is it blowing kind of hard out there?
Yes, I've been standing there watching my anemometer and wind speed indicator, and 34 miles per hour is the highest gust I've recorded so far.
Is that right?
That's pretty windy.
Is that right? I'd like to make a little announcement here before we get into the weather. The Annandale school superintendent called. Buses in Annandale are running on schedule, but the 4th grade trip to the Shrine Circus has been canceled today. Now, that's too bad, by golly. I bet those kids are looking forward to the circus.
Yeah, right.
But, okay, we'll let you go on there now. Sorry for the interruption.
Well, that's all right. It's your radio station.
Not yet, it's not.
I was beginning to wonder if I had my radio turned WCCO. I heard that naughty word on there quite a few times this morning. And I couldn't believe my ears.
I used to work for those guys, and they're nice people, but they were telling everybody that the Buffalo schools were 2 hours late this morning. So you see, they're not infallible.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, let's see here. I had somebody tell me this. It was overheard between Don Wohlenhaus and Bruce Solberg. And Don says, "Sorry, I can't hire you. There isn't enough work to keep you busy." Bruce, you'd be surprised how little it takes. Can you picture this? You know, all these commercials right around my show. Now just imagine here, Earl Morning Breeze just robbed First State Federal, took off in a new Volare with Porky Elliott as a hostage. Oh, my gosh. Well, we're running late here. I'll be mixing up with Earl Morning Breeze. We better get on with the weather. We got a temperature currently of 27 degrees. We have snow, blowing snow. We have northeasterly winds gusting at 34 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 29.62 inches and steady. Humidity 89%. Yesterday's data, we had a high of 41, a low of 8. Precipitation 0. That was till 5 p.m. last night, of course. A year ago, we had a high of 26, a low of 11. A trace of precipitation. Now, we had 83 hundredths of an inch of moisture till 7:30 this morning now. About 1 inch of snow has fallen up till 7:30. But 83 hundredths of it, and most of that is rain. That'd have been all snow. It would have been about 8 3/10 inches of snow. Our all-time high is 61 in 1934. Our all-time low of minus 8 in 1956. Temperature again 27. That's it. I hope you have a good day.
Well, I hope you do too, Toivo. I hope you can make it through the snowbank there.